Hey there, my name is Lena and I love doing readings with playing cards. I prefer playing cards because they're just very on point. Tarot, they're full of imagery. Actually, these cards are rather heavy on imagery as well, which is rather uncommon for playing cards. These ones were created by an amazing painter called Viktor Sveshnikov. This is a deck from 1982, rather old deck. I love it. It's a Russian deck. And it might be helpful for some people who prefer relying on certain symbols in the cards. But other than that, I love reading pips and I like doing card readings when I just know the meaning. I rely on the combination of cards. It's actually one thing you need to know about playing cards is we very rarely use single cards. You can sometimes draw an extra card to clarify the meaning, but it's always the card combinations. They come in threes, they come in twos. If you are familiar with Lenormand card readings, you would know that it's exactly how it's done there as well. But here, today, we're going to do a Celtic cross. It's, if you are aware of different readings, you might know that a lot of them have the concept of a cross. And there are different versions of them. There's a cross within the Grand Tableau Lenormand, there's a cross, the Celtic cross, and we have this Slavic reading called the Gypsy Circle, which is also based on a cross. The difference between tarot and playing cards: in tarot, we very often just draw one card, as I said, and let's say if you'll be doing a Celtic cross, that's what we're doing, right? We're doing this, and we have some cards on the sides here clarifying the future and answering your question. In this case, we're not going to do that. For each card here, we're going to use 3, and for these, we're going to use 2. I'll explain. It's actually very easy, and I want for you to just enjoy this reading because it's Christmas today. It's Orthodox Christmas. It's the 7th of January. So these days, they're just full of energies that are very assisting, I find, when doing readings. But even if you don't want to learn, if you just want to just enjoy the reading, and ask your own questions, feel free to stick around. But I really would like for you, if you have a deck of playing cards which you never used, and which, if you were toying with the idea of doing readings with playing cards, may this video be a sign for you. May this video inspire you to start doing your own readings. I'll be doing the reading and explaining basic things here on how it works and what I'm talking about here. Now, with bigger readings, people tend to ask bigger questions, right? They tend to ask what's happening within a year, within half a year. But I honestly prefer doing shorter periods of time because within a year, there will be so many external factors that it can be difficult to focus on what you want to know now, right? Even if they'll give you the general tendencies, certain things still might change. So let's ask about January. What will be happening in January? So I expect for you, if you're watching this video, then you will find some answers here, but also feel free to use this video as a learning tool on your path of understanding playing cards better. So I'm going to cut the deck. I'm cutting it towards potentially the person asking the question. So focus on any question you have for this January. And we're going to take the card that will be signifying the person asking the question. One thing with playing cards decks, we always use a card that would signify the person asking the question. So usually it's the Queen of Hearts, and we'll be now finding this card. And 2 cards surrounding it would be cards showing us what is up generally. So the Queen of Diamonds. Where is the Queen of Hearts? Here she is. She appeared with two very good cards. So it's interesting because it could either be that this reading would be suitable for both genders, because it shows us, hey, hello, we also have the King of Hearts here, because usually when doing a reading for a man, we're using the King of Hearts. I mean, not to be full of stereotypes, but very often the readings were being made by women and for women. So I'm going to stick with this card. And the cards it showed up with, it's reversed Eight of Hearts and the King of Hearts. Meaning your current situation is you feel at peace with your surroundings. You feel that you have a person you can rely on. And you are getting to know that person better. There's someone you like, and that person is a very positive force in your life currently. And you might have some thoughts about it, because people tend to think about, like, be a bit concerned about everything in their life, even if everything is going fine. So if you were thinking about a certain someone who is close to you, please be sure that all the energies around your situation are very positive, and you shouldn't be worried about that. But we're going to ask about what is happening within the next month. It's a very general question, right? So ask your questions as well. As I said, I'm teaching you here how to do this reading. So we have the card signifying you. And now we're gonna do the following. A little bit of cards here, 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 and here. So this is gonna be your thoughts, your concerns, everything is happening in your mind. Here, it's what anchors you. I like to call these three cards the has been, because it's something that's still happening in your life, but will very soon turn into your past. It is not just present, it's something that, as I said, it's your anchor, right? Because everything we have happening in our lives is always connected to our past, to our experiences. If you had horrible childhood and somebody's being nice to you, you will be suspicious. If you never had anything to worry about, you will never find anything dubious in the behavior of a person who is trying to be nice to you. So, I mean, it's a very basic explanation, but it's for you to understand better the situation and what these three cards signify. So, these three cards are the past, future. You might as well just lay these cards like that. You don't need to do this boom, 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 boom. Doesn't matter. I prefer doing that. Sometimes my hand tells me don't do that, then I don't do that. You will know better, right? You'll feel it. The more you work with cards, the more you feel them, the more you feel what they're trying to tell you, the more you feel what the energies are trying to tell you. So that's the situation here. And remember, we are doing the Celtic cross improvisation, right? So what else do we have in the Celtic cross? We have questions about us, the external factors, our fears and hopes, and the outcome. So we're gonna do that here as well. This is more about you. What are you doing? Your actions, how you will be coping within this month. External factors that will affect the situation. Then exactly hopes and fears, and just certain things will be going away, more in your mind than factually. And the outcome, right? Also, in Celtic Cross, we have the card that says what's crossing you, right? Some obstacles, some influences as well. Here we do this. You can either do one card and then get rid of three. One card, get rid of three, or you can just put three cards. This is, as we call, something is on your heart and under your heart, meaning something you are aware of and that what bothers you a lot, and something you even don't want to face. It'll be under. So I'm going to put one card here, get rid of three, one card here, get rid of 3, one card here, get rid of 3, and then I take one card and I put it underneath. So we're ready to begin. We have your card, and let's have a look at your concerns. What are you concerned about? 7 of hearts, 8 of clubs, and 8 of diamonds and 10 of clubs. It means that currently you've been working hard, and you feel that you deserve recognition. So far, I don't see any financial issues. I see that you've been having positive interactions with people who were bringing you opportunities for work. So lately you were working more than, let's say, we have phases of our lives where we would say, oh, this was the time when I was more concerned about my love life. This is the time when I was more concerned about financial situation. Here, this is an interesting time of you finding yourself in situations when you meet new people, and these people bring you opportunities for self-development, opportunities to create something. It eventually does manifest in money, but the concept here is not the money, but the process of you working. So lately, you've been meeting new people, you've been very open to new encounters. Maybe you've been partying a lot because, I mean, it's festive season, and this partying, you know, at parties we meet new people, and you've met a bit like your share of new people, and these people were very, you know, people who promise a lot, and so far you feel that you hope that these promises will come true, and we'll see how it manifests, because all these nice meetings around you, they have been rather pleasant, and it's a nice thing to experience. Okay, so let's have a look. What anchors you? Okay. This is what's on your mind. Your past. Then future, what's coming your way. And now we shall see your behaviors, the external factors, your hopes and fears, and the outcome. So let's begin. As your base here, we can see the King of Clubs and the Ace of Clubs. So these cards and the suit of clubs usually is connected. Let's remember that I'm here just trying to teach you the basics of doing such readings as well, apart from actually performing the reading, right? So Kings of Clubs and Aces of Clubs together, it most likely means work. And it seems maybe you had some romantic stuff happening at home. Do you fancy your boss or something? Or could be that you just really been at work a lot lately. You're enjoying your work. And it's a big part of your life that apparently you always were a person who saw themselves through what they do. You know, some people go, I am not my work, but you are your work, but in a good way. As in, most likely you are doing what you really like, and you would like to keep it this way. And you have been always the person who could rely on colleagues, rely on people at work, your boss. So far, you kind of feel this, like somebody has your back at all times. It's a nice, good feeling. It also, as I said, remember that that's something. This card is what anchors you. Therefore, if you always have this feeling somebody has your back, it always eventually works out when it comes to work. It might also tell you that sometimes, maybe because you tend to rely on that so much, you maybe sometimes are disappointed because you're like, oh, everything will work out. Everything will be fine. So let's keep that in mind. So far, you've been well protected, had good connections, and these cards work well together with this card that was on your heart, that you tend to keep finding new opportunities for good ways to use your skills. And let's have a look. What's in your mind? What's happening here? You are very focused on maximizing your profit. You want to make more money, and you tend to connect it with nice encounters with people. So maybe you work with, maybe you have a family business. Also could be that somebody who you love, you really rely on their work as well, and therefore you bring work home, or that person brings work home. But I can see that you feel that there are opportunities for you to make money, there are opportunities for you to be happier, and so far they've been connected to many nice encounters with people you trust, people you like, with old friends, and with also young colleagues who are full of enthusiasm. But you're feeling that all these promises, they're more promises. They're still not happening as quickly as you would want for them to. And that's your slight concern. So far, you've been like, okay, everything is fine. But I'm a bit concerned that all the promises and all the positive outcomes might be slightly delayed. And let's see if it will be happening like that. Because in the past, you had some unreliable people in your life. You had somebody hurt you. This is I love this card. It's the Ace of Spades. It's a very, even here, this card is it's a talking card, I would say. See, it's like a jack in a box. It's like, hello, surprise, boom. But also it's a spade, and the spade might hurt you. So you've had a lot of negative surprises from young colleagues, young co-workers, from people in your life, some friends who just come and go, overpromise, connect you to work, go, let's do something. Oh my God, let's do something. We'll achieve so much. And these people just come and go and disappear. You know this, we all have that friend who says, you know what? I have this idea. You're going to be a part of that. We're going to start this business. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then off they go. Even here, we can see that they're leaving. They're like, goodbye. So apparently you had these people who are promising you much, and then you felt like you're doing stuff, but nothing is changing. So I guess you are a person you are really into work. You want to, you want to make sure that work brings you balance and not chaos. And so far, you've had these people, but they're going. So lately, if you had that at the end of last year, you had these feelings, maybe, sometimes people try to finish projects before the new year begins. Maybe it was even your project. And finally, maybe could be that you were just really, really exhausted, completely exhausted, and you just feel done. Okay, we've tried. Maybe we didn't necessarily succeed with meeting the deadlines, but it's going. You can exhale now. This chaos of worrying is over right now. Because what's coming your way, it's a very money-related and work-related spread, I can see. Because, I love doing spreads about relationships, but sometimes it just tells you your main concern this month is not going to be people in your life. It's going to be money and work. Because what's coming your way, you will have a lot of new meetings with people again who will be, I hate these people. Those people again at work who just show up and they're so arrogant in how naive they are and optimistic, and they go, I know better than you. And you tell them, no, I'm sorry, but I've been doing this work for ages. I know how to do this. They go, no, come on, let's try it. They try to be too creative, and sometimes they can mess up things. And then you'll just worry about everything. But stop worrying. It will be happening. Yes, you'll be worrying about money not coming on time, but it will. And actually, you have roads towards money, towards financial gain open. And this is exactly the financial gain. Finally, your thoughts about it being delayed, they are grounded because you will have... you have a tendency, most likely here, I see it as your thoughts of how sometimes at work something is not going right. We all know how you can't just, if you are working by yourself, then sure, you are your own boss, you are your everything. But if there are other people involved, a lot of stuff happens. So you tend to worry about that quite a bit. But don't, because you have positive new chances to start things which you were hoping you would be able to. It's exactly happening. And as a result, despite your concerns, you will get your financial gain and the situation financially will be improving for you. So that's good. So all the concerns and drama is leaving, and financial profit is coming with a little bit of drama, but way less this time. And it's less grounded on anything. It's just more your experience telling you, hey, something can go wrong, but don't worry about it. Eventually it will be happening. And like at work, when other people are involved, it's never just pure positivity. Because here I can see that this person, it's your work, it's somebody at work, it's your superior. It could be your relationship with work. And we have a very good card. This is a 9 of Hearts. I mean, it could be that you have a crush on your boss. Wow, that can be tricky. And actually, that could create extra concerns. But given the rest of the cards, I see it more as a person at work with whom you share your passion for work, because you are doing something you really love. And that's why you care about it so much. You're concerned so much. You really worry. Like we have all the jacks here. And this is cards of like minor concerns connected to very often somebody being naive. You know, this card is very similar to, it's kind of a mix of both the Knight and the Page in Tarot. So it's this just active energy connected to being very childish sometimes. So you've had a lot of that. And, but that person, you might have issues with that person because that person really, this, sometimes we have that boss or friend who really has their vision of how to do something. And because of that, they can come off as arrogant, a bit narcissistic. But once you understand that you have the common ground and you really love what you're doing, you really believe in what you're doing, this is when you get to trust this person, you get to become their friend, and this is what's happening. And you're working now towards being closer to that person. And here, the external factors affecting your work, you will be, interesting, maybe you'll be having, maybe you have some, what do we call them? This like corporate stuff, having like corporate parties at work, some evenings at work where all the colleagues are having a cocktail and discussing what's up with work. So that shall be happening. I mean, it's the beginning of the year, so a lot of that is coming your way. But the difficult part of that is if somebody, most likely that superior at work, really wants from you to just tell and talk about what is your plan, what are your goals at work, what are you planning to achieve, how are you going to do that? And that's rather stressful, because it's sometimes when you're good at work, at your job, you're better at doing it than talking about it. And it seems to me that there's a lot of cards connected to communication and work-related communication. And it seems that to me that you're a bit concerned about that because it's not your forte. But it's just a thing that needs to be done, And it might be not pleasant, but it's just a factor of life, just a thing you have to do at work. And if you are scared of it, it doesn't mean that it is scary by itself. It's just that you have negative experiences, again, connected to it, because you used to treat work more as your own home. And whenever you feel that work becomes more work, then more like real, it's a job, then it becomes a bit disheartening for you. So there's that. It also could mean that you'll have some issues with commute to work. It can be as simple as that maybe something will break on the road. Like you're going to work and boom, there's been a massive traffic jam, you're late. Or I don't know, on a train, the train breaks, something like that. So keep in mind that. Always try to be on time for work, so watch out for such situations. But what else happens? Here's your fears and hopes. We have, this is the tricky card, we have the Queen of Spades, and we have an Ace of Diamonds. You are fearing that some negative news would come from work. Or generally you are scared, you are always anticipating some negative information, which is, again, your trait here, and here we have this card, because spades are a tricky card. They are usually talking about something that eats at you, and here, but this is mostly your concerns, because you seem to be, like, even though you understand that that person is not an enemy, you can be intimidated by them and connected too much to that person. You take everything very close to heart, everything they do and say, if you have such a person in your life. So far, I mainly see it at work. We can be talking home, we can be talking new people. So, because I see it more, because every time when you're doing a spread, right, you're doing a reading, a person doing the reading has something to interpret. And so far, I saw more cards related to work. Even though we do have a lot of hard cards, a lot of cards connecting to people, but to me, it more speaks like a spread like that. Clearly, if there was a person coming to us, to the spread, going, hey, you know what? I'm really curious. What is up in my love life? Then we will be able to say that love life, they had issues, and they had issues that were connected to how immature the partner was. The partner maybe wanted to use them. So if you are questioning stuff about love, then yes, maybe you had a partner in your life who wanted to use you, that person who you trusted, you let them close to your home, maybe they let you to their home as well, but you find that your love was more, more a fling than deep love. You wanted for it to be deeper, but you find that that person is very hard to get close to. It's a person with whom you have just like, ego battle, even though you have love, but it's hard to get closer to that person. And you would love to, but you have a lot of fights with that person. And that's what's happening. And every time you go and visit them, you have a fight. And you are scared now. You would love to hang out with that person more. You just like to have some peace and quiet, but you're scared that it'll be delayed in time. You don't know how soon it will be happening. And you're concerned that maybe there's somebody who doesn't want for your relationship to happen. And you're expecting, or maybe you suspect that person is cheating, and you're like, who is that person? I want to, some people who kind of go through emails and text of their partner. Maybe you have that tendency, or maybe in the past something like that happened. So you're right now a bit scared of that. And in the future, and if we're talking about love, you will have some fights, but the outcome is positive. You'll just come to, you'll enter a nicer phase of your relationship. Maybe before that, you try to, sometimes people make a mistake of saying, who are we to each other, a bit too soon. And it brings a bit of anxiety in the relationship and unnecessary heaviness. But maybe through certain fights and discussions, not fights, but like discussions where you feel you have to do it. You have to talk about it to make it right. So all the good things have to come through just discussions of like, who are we, what do we want, all that stuff. So if you manage to face them, your relationship will enter a new level. You'll stop having fights. You'll just see each other better, and the relationship in itself will be lighter and nicer. If we're talking work here, financial gain, you finally, as this card also, both of these cards, yes, you will have unpleasant talks. You might actually work. You take it so close to heart that it makes you cry sometimes even. But don't worry, after that, you'll have everything you wanted. You'll have like your financial situation really improves dramatically. What you don't want to face. You don't want to face, again, remember I told you that you are a person who finds discussions and meeting new people and communicating, discussing things like a task, a very difficult task. and you're dreading all the discussions connected to work. If relationship, we're talking about this person here, again, it's every discussion connected to your relationship with that person. You're not a huge fan of that. So as long as you just become aware of the fact that communication is key to improving any kind of relationships, then you shouldn't fear anything, and everything will be working out nicely for you. When doing a spread, please have a look at what kinds of cards are surrounding the main one. Here we have a lot of diamonds connected to money, right? We have these cards connected to working. So that's why I decided that it's more connected to less of the heart matters. But again, because there was no initial question, just a very general one, what's happening in this month. But again, depending on the kind of a question, we always will have a slightly different reading, right? So hopefully it was helpful. Have a lovely year, have a lovely month, have a lovely January, and see you soon. Bye.